All right, I said if I was gonna do this, I was gonna show both the highs and the lows of doing these travels. So this is a day, there's been a few lows that I'll just go ahead and cover, some tips and tricks. First off, when you're draining your sewage pipes, you have two of them connected, which is often the case. Make sure they're connected really good. Make sure they sit here. There's like a bump. I believe I didn't get that fully connected correctly the first time because became disconnected while emptying. That's where I learned gloves are very important when you're doing stuff like this. I'm not gonna do it right now, but just a heads up. Another one, the first campsite we went to, or the second campsite we went to. First campsite, the first place we stopped was a resort. The second place was a campsite. It mentioned that it was big rig friendly, could fit up to 50 feet. However, I would say that's not necessarily the case, or wasn't as easy to fit in as we had hoped. So we got stuck, not fully stuck, just temporarily stuck. And I don't know if you can see this. This is one of our leveling legs. I don't know if you can tell how crooked it is, but it got pretty jacked up when it got stuck. So, you know, that's a problem that we're gonna have to figure out. But at least it still levels for now, and it at least works. It's not pretty. And then probably the final one, we made it 800 miles from Cumming, Georgia to Harrisonville, Missouri. No incident till I took out my parents' mailbox and we pulled in the driveway. I don't know if you can see this, but or how easy it is to tell, but they got some trees, and as I was pulling in, I was focused on the trees. So I don't want to hit those trees. So took the turn a little tighter and forgot that there were things behind me. So some lessons learned, and those are a few of the low points since we started our travel. So my goal today is to try and empty some of our fresh tanks that have been winterized, or our fresh tank has been winterized, and replace this mailbox. And I forgot even the most annoying one is solar doesn't run everything on the unit. It actually pretty much runs, at least for this one, runs the refrigerator and then like some 12-volt stuff like your USB ports, but not like outlets and lights. Or I think it might run some lights. I think it does run the lights, but not enough to function. So while we're not hooked up to electricity, while we're at my parents' house, needed a generator. Unfortunately, generator doesn't work. The guy we sold it from, or bought it from, was kind enough to leave a lot of aftermarket stuff, to include some of the parts he thought would fix the generator. We have replaced 2 spark plugs that were pretty well screwed when we got here. We replaced the air filter and the fuel filter, and still no luck. This thing, it's a Cummins 5500. And yeah, I had a couple buddies come over yesterday. Cool thing about living, or being from Harrisonville, a small town like this, is we got a lot of friends that are familiar with a lot of this stuff. So thank you, Noah and Ryan, for coming out and taking a look. They were messing with it for a good hour. Made it work better, longer, just not, I think the longest run time we got was 3 minutes out of it. So not as much as we would have liked. So trying to figure out what to do next. It's throwing all sorts of error codes from like overspeed, shut off by itself, under AC voltage. It just changes every time I run it. So that's another low point, I guess, / challenge that we're working on. But that's why we did want to start in Missouri, where we have family. That way we can figure all this stuff out while we have an escape. I'm gonna stay in our parents' or my parents' house and help use their bathroom and stuff while we figure everything out. So yeah, just wanted to give everyone an update, since I don't think we've given an update since we got here to Missouri. So we'll talk to you guys later.